Hi, Coach Alexia here, and today I'm going to show you how to make my lettuce wrapped chicken fajitas. Okay, so let's start cooking. I've heated up some cooking spray in a pan, and the first thing I'm going to add is my onions. And the reason is I want to have these cook long enough to get a little caramelized, because that makes them extra delicious because it's a sweet onion. So another thing you can do to help with meal prep, because this is a lot of work for a weeknight, is you can have chopped all these veggies ahead of time and stored them in mason jars in the fridge. Then when you're ready to put this meal together, you just start with this step with cooking. Okay, so our onions are starting to get a little bit of color. So we're going to go ahead and add our peppers next. And that is because we want the peppers to cook longer than the mushrooms, which don't have to cook very long at all. Now, I had just mentioned that if you wanted to do this ahead of time, you could chop your veggies. But if you really want to go all in with meal prep ahead of time, you could even do all of this cooking on the weekend and then store the cooked vegetables, so you would just have to heat them up during the week. Okay, so I've actually gone ahead and added a cover to this so that it cooks a little faster. And this is where we're going to multitask a little bit. While that cooks, I'm going to start preparing the chicken. So I'm starting with 3 ounces of meal prepped chicken. So this was chicken that was cooked and then shredded, and I've already portioned it out, so I know that this is 3 ounces. Now this is very bland. This is just basically boiled chicken that's been shredded. So if you were just going to eat this, not going to be delicious. So what we're going to do is spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to use my food scale so I can control my portions, put it on the scale and turn the scale on, and I'm going to add to it 4 tablespoons of salsa. Now, since I'm using the scale, I have to do a little math. I can see that 2 tablespoons is 30 grams. So if I want 4 tablespoons, I need 60 grams of salsa. So I put the scale onto grams, and I'm just going to scoop salsa in until I have 60 grams. And just like that, I have measured my salsa and not made anything else dirty. Now to this, I want to also add some more seasoning. So I'm going to do just a little bit of lime juice, and I'm not measuring this. I'm going to add some cilantro, some chipotle seasoning, Mrs. Dash, and some garlic powder. And then I'm just going to mix that together, and that is going to be the protein filling for my lettuce wrapped fajitas. Finally, we're going to add the mushrooms. And these will not need to cook as long as the rest of the vegetables because they cook down fairly quickly. So now all that's left is to assemble the lettuce wrapped fajitas. So I have some already prepared big green leaf lettuce leaves to use for wraps. I've got my chicken, salsa, and spices, and I've got the vegetables, which I have not seasoned because I put the seasonings in the chicken, and I don't know what these leftovers will be used for, if there are any. Now you may have noticed I'm a fan of less dishes, so I have decided to serve these in the container that I will store these in. So now all that's left is to assemble the fajitas and enjoy. So there's a lot of ways you can prepare these. What I prepared tonight was based on what I had left for my macros for the day. So I didn't have a lot of fat left for the evening, and so it was mostly vegetables and protein. If you've got some extra fat for the day, these would be extra delicious with some guacamole, some sour cream or non-fat plain Greek yogurt, and even some cheese would make them really good. They were delicious as they were, but if I had extra fat, I would have definitely added some guacamole. And they are messy, so if you make these, be prepared to get messy, and know that adding some of the yogurt, sour cream, or guacamole will help keep the wraps together a little bit better than if you don't have that. All right, let's put it together. So I'm just going to start with a piece of lettuce. They're also small. And I'm going to put into that some of my chicken. Top that with the veggies mixture. And then you simply wrap. I always hold on to the end so things don't go shooting out. and enjoy.